If you can, start with talking to us about the meeting today, why the meeting today, and what we learned from the meeting.
Sure. One of the opportunities that we've had as a community is to get our leaderships together, our respective county and our city managers, our elected officials, our subject matter experts, and really address this issue from all angles, trying to be as prepared as possible based on whatever the virus shows us or doesn't show us in our community. So the name of the game is preparedness. That's where we are. We're trying to make sure our community is as well informed, as well educated, and as well, I would say, game ready, if you will, for the possible outbreak of the coronavirus here in Gaston County. What we know is we certainly have incredible planning underway. We have a great healthcare system. We have a great government system. We have a great school system, and we're all working together to make sure that we can work seamlessly should the virus show up in Gaston County. One of the things that we're trying to help our citizens understand right now, the best thing that they can do is practice good hygiene. Wash your hands. If you're sick, stay home. Avoid large gatherings. If you feel like you're ill and potentially might have some type of flu-like symptoms, call your provider before you go. So call them over the line. Yesterday we opened a call center for Gaston County where you can ask questions, where you can address rumors, and you can actually have yourself assessed should you go to your provider and receive some type of testing for the virus or other type of medical treatment. The other thing that we're trying to determine is what's the right recommendations for our local gatherings. We certainly are preparing for the possibility of recommending that those gatherings be either canceled or postponed to a later time, because again, social distancing is a very important aspect in slowing the spread or mitigating the spread of this virus.
And if you can, I don't know if we have any major events on the horizon that may be impacted.
Well, certainly if in the local news, we have seen where the NBA has closed the rest of its season or canceled the rest of its season. The NCAA basketball announced today that some of their tournaments were going to be canceled. They were not going to allow spectators in the coliseums or in the arenas, only essential personnel. But we're starting to see a trickle down of even those events are being canceled. Our school system is on record as restricting travel out of the state. So we continually assess what is the right social distancing or cancellation of events. And I think you're going to see more information come out on that in the very near future.
I skipped the most important thing. I think the one thing people want to know is, are there any presumptive or confirmed cases?
Currently at this time, we do not have any confirmed or presumptive cases that I'm aware of. Now that could change in a moment's notice. Certainly if that information becomes available, we would share that with our community. But what I would say is even if that does happen, our recommendations stay the same. Maintain good hygiene, wash your hands, stay away from large gatherings, and if you are confirmed and you do have the flu, don't go to work, stay home, minimize your contact with others.
That being said, I know sometimes we have municipal events
Sure.
that are happening. Is there anything on the horizon, anything coming up this weekend?
Director.
We got our
I'm sorry.
I'll jump in on that.
Sure. I'll let
Thanks,
Adam-
Cantor. I'm going to bring up Chairman Philbick on that. One of the things that we talked about at the meeting today was just being proactive, and I think the chairman can talk a little bit more about that, but one of the things that we'll be doing really in the next 24 hours is taking a look at not only county events for the next few weeks, but working with our municipal partners as well about what events either need to be canceled altogether, which ones need to be cut back or changed, and we're going to be putting out a list of those to let the public know, because we're doing this really to protect them, to help keep them safe, and really kind of keep the spread of this virus as much as a minimum in Gaston County as we can.
Thank you. First, I want to say that I am thankful and rest assured that we have great people in Gaston County, partners, making sure that we stay as safe and mitigate this issue as best that we can, from the Sheriff's Department, County Police, Gaston County Schools, Caramont, to our EMS, emergency management as well. We're working together to the best that we can to mitigate this issue. One of the things that local leaders from our municipalities in the county, our health director, Caramont, and school leaders, probably what's different that we're going to give you today is this. We would highly recommend that Gaston County citizens avoid all large gatherings of 50 or more people. We would ask that the citizens voluntarily stay away from any large gatherings of 50 or more people. What we will do as we get new information, and if we get a confirmed coronavirus, if that is confirmed, or if we get a spike in an area close to Gaston County, we are looking at implementing a state of emergency. And if that would happen, at that time, we may look at severe restrictions on large gatherings. So that is one of the things that we are looking at. We'll be meeting again, hopefully next week, once we get more information. And the biggest thing that I can give you is if we can mitigate this issue as best we can by avoiding large crowds, call before you come, wash your hands, I think it would be very helpful to our citizens, and that's the biggest thing that we can do.
Questions from the Gazette?
So, what's the next steps for you guys, other than the next meeting? What's the homework that's done between here and the next meeting now?
Oh, the homework has been going on for several weeks. The health department is looking at every avenue. There's meetings, there's conference calls. All of our partners, municipalities, law enforcement, health, schools, our hospital, we're constantly meeting, looking at data, having conversations, and getting ready for the next big event. That's where we're at.
This meeting was a little bit broader than the prior meeting. Is that because of what happened in Mecklenburg County?
Yes, I think it's starting to hit closer to home. It's not if it happens here, it's actually when it happens. If you have 2 cases in Charlotte, more than likely could be hundreds more. And I think at this time, the message that we wanted to speak in one voice is no large gatherings of 50 and under. We would ask that you voluntarily not go to those events. You'll see some cancellations from the county side, events and things of that nature that you'll see going forward. But if we do have a confirmed case, we have some action steps such as a state of emergency, working with our municipalities or local law enforcement, Caramont, and our schools. There'll be some next steps that we'll take.
Just so everybody's kind of up to date. So let's say we get to that state of emergency. Have you already discussed what that looks like? What are the 3 things that people can expect if we get to that point?
That's one of the things that we're talking about now with local law enforcement and health officials. So once we get to that stage, we'll talk about those things.
Mics are still on, be quiet.
Thank you much. We appreciate your time. If you've got any follow-up questions for department heads, we'd be glad to facilitate those. We'll also be putting out a press release on this topic here coming just later this afternoon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.